de Santurbán!
Come join us to an adventure to a unique place, not only in Colombia, but also in South America and the whole world. And to top it up, this was our first proper adventure at high altitude, so looking forward.
Morning! Well, we are now in Berlin and we are waiting for our bus to Betas. And once we arrive in Betas, our adventure to Páramo will start right away.
The bus finally arrived to bring us to Betas, the starting point of our adventure in Páramo de Santurbán. And oh boy, what a bus ride it was! It was probably one of the shakiest and bumpiest bus ride we've ever had. But the view was simply gorgeous, giving us a glimpse of the mighty Andes. After 1.5 hours, we were just happy that the bumpy ride was over.
We made it to Betas! And now we are going to find our hotel! The only way to access the city is by using this bus, which runs 2 times daily from Bucaramanga.
And by the way, Betas is such a small town that there's only one accommodation, Hospedaje Real Santurbán.
Now we are going to start our hike to Laguna Las Calles. And by the way, we are now at above 3,500 meters, right? So hopefully we are not getting altitude sickness.
Well, we are now hiking in Páramo, and Páramo is actually a general term that refers to the ecosystem at high altitude, especially in this part of Colombia and also in Venezuela. And you can find a lot of other páramos in Colombia, but right now we are in the Páramo de Santurbán. And in all this páramo, you can find a lot of endemic plant species, which makes it really unique. Let's explore!
The landscape was rather new for us, especially with so many new plant species that we've never seen before.
We are halfway to the lagoon and we are actually start from the road over there. Well, we are not so far, we are not hiking that long, but to be honest, I'm super tired now and I will blame the altitude. It's not me. Behind us, we see the lagoon that we actually saw from the first time when we started the hike. And apparently the name of this lagoon is Laguna Pajarito. And Pajarito means small bird. Here, we can read the folklore. And people believe that this lagoon used to be really scary. So it looks calm, it looks nice, but it eats people. So what they did was to get a priest and sort of tame this lagoon. And now this is the lagoon, the tame lagoon.
Let's keep on walking to our proper destination, an even higher and larger lagoon.
We made it to the Laguna de las Calles. We are at 3,643 meters above sea level. And people actually give the name to this lagoon because of the streets or calles of rocks that you can find in the middle and also at the end of the lagoon.
It was a very nice place, right? And this was actually the highest altitude we've been so far. But the next day, we're gonna go to an even higher altitude, so this was a nice warming up.
When you walk in Páramo area, don't forget to spot some frailejones. This endemic plant can usually be found near a source of water, like in this case, nearby a small pond like this. And this plant actually also grows really slowly, so if you happen to find something that's quite big, it's probably been there already for decades. This plant actually looks quite interesting. The leaf is really hairy and it's really soft, so when you're touching it, it's as if you're touching like a sweet shoes or clothes. It's quite interesting, looks really alien-like.
time to descend again through the beautiful Páramo landscape.
After completing today's hike to Laguna de las Calles, now we're gonna head back to Betas, we're gonna rest a bit, and tomorrow we're gonna continue again to other lagunas.
The walk back to the village was also very pleasant, with great mountain view all around. And this area is so high that we're actually in and above the clouds. We are approaching Betas. Time to rest and get ready for another adventure the next day.
Good morning, one backpackers! Well, today is our second day in Páramo de Santurbán, and our destination today is to
Laguna Las Cuntas.
Laguna Las Cuntas. Let's go! Small tips: if you want to go here, it's better to contact a local or have a tour guide, because at the beginning of this trail there is a gate which is locked, and you have to know whom you have to contact to get the key. Wow, so beautiful!
During today's hike, we're gonna see even more lagoons and more frailejones, so stay tuned! We had to walk more than the day before, and the high altitude made our pace rather slower than normal.
This is Laguna El Ojo, which is located not so far from the Laguna Las Cunas. And we don't know why it's called El Ojo or the Eye Lagoon, but our hypothesis is that because it has a small island over there in the middle, which makes the lagoon resemble an eye. Frailejones everywhere! Hey! Here we can find another lagoon that's part of the Lagunas Las Cuntas. And actually, Páramo de Santurbán is really renowned for its lagoons. There are like hundreds, if not thousands of lagoons spread over the area of the Páramo de Santurbán.
In the area that we visited, we could only see a fraction of all lagoons. So many more lagoons are located in more remote locations and at higher altitude.
We haven't really walked for that long and the trail is not very steep, but we're already out of breath. It's probably the altitude because we're almost at 3,900 meters and my heart is pounding like crazy now. Besides the large frailejones that we saw earlier, you can also find another type of frailejones over here. This small one right here. And according to the local guy, this one you can only find particularly in this Páramo.
We only show two types of frailejones here, but actually there are dozens of these species spread over the Páramo in Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela.
This is Laguna Las Cunas, and this is a very popular lagoon located not so far from Betas. So make sure to visit this place, it's really beautiful.
Despite the high altitude and the remote location, it seems like there used to be people living here. And also, we find a sign of cultivation there.
We're actually coming from there, and we have to go there again to return to Betas.
So this is the gate that we talk about, and it is locked. So it's better to ask the locals to arrange key for this. But since I'm small, I can do this. This is the highest point of the hike. We are now at 3,928 meters above the sea level. This is the main reason why we have to arrange it with the local people, because the entrance to the lake is actually a private property.
Our walk back to Betas on this day marks the end of our adventure in the beautiful Páramo de Santurbán.
That was our adventure in Páramo de Santurbán. Well, we are quite lucky with the weather. We had a really great time. We enjoyed beautiful views, beautiful lakes, and also beautiful plants. Well, now we are going to go back to Betas and take a rest so we can continue our journey tomorrow. So guys, keep following our channel, keep watching our videos, and of course don't forget to subscribe!